remind me to show you a picture of Sarah Lynn's magazine. She's doing magazine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our sew-along.
So we are doing this sew-along tonight, but as usual, there's some housekeeping items to go over first, but we'll get to week
3,
5 and 6.
Yep, but
Weeks
it's
5 and
5:30.
6. Yep. Okay.
Okay, this is our Christmas sew-along that we are going to be starting. The date will be posted ahead of time. Hi, Nellie. For those of you that don't want to make a Christmas quilt, we are going to be using substitution blocks for the stocking, for the candy canes, and the candy and the balls. Yeah. So it's not going to be Christmas if you don't want it to be Christmas, and it's going to be a fun sew-along, I think. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Peggy.
Everybody tonight.
Before I forget, we have posted about the trunk show that's going to happen. Peggy Abbott, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's July the 18th. It's a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So we have, I can't remember, Peggy will tell me. Anyway, it's hard to keep all these dates in my head. Anyway, it's a trunk show. She's coming from away, and she is going to show a new technique for making half square triangles plus other blocks.
July the 13th.
Okay, July the 13th. It's a Sunday. Thank you, Peggy. She just said it too.
Yeah.
Okay, July the 13th. And you just, in order to attend, there's no fee. All you have to do is message and tell us that you're coming. Lynn Noggle knows the date. Everybody knows the date except me. Anyway, so that's something to keep in mind. Also, we have the magazine contest going on. So a lot of people sent in the magazine, and so a lot of people did. So I want to make sure, over and above sending the magazine, you have to send in a request for your fabric bundle. So the bundle is $17 for anybody that doesn't know about the magazine. All you have to do is pick a magazine that you're going to participate with. And on, I'm going to look the date up, I think it's the 10th of July. I've got it written down over there. I'm going to announce a specific page number in your magazine, and you have to make a project based on that page. So that page has to inspire you to make some sort of project. I will post a date for when they have to be finished. We're going to give you lots of time. We're going to have a Viewer's Choice Award of a free quilting service, but we're also going to have a Staff Choice Award. And so that person will win a free quilting service as well.
So for that, they have to use
the bundle,
some of the fabric in the bundle of each fabric, and then they can add anything they want to it to complete.
Right.
Besides that.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can make it a king size quilt out of this 1 meter by
It doesn't
adding
have to be a
two.
quilt.
It doesn't have to be. It can be a bag. It can be a runner. It could be a piece of clothing. It could be anything. Lynn, what are you going to put? A yoke? Anyway, it can be anything. So
I think that's going to be fun to see what people come up with.
Right? So when you submit your project, you have to send us a picture of the page. And
it doesn't have to encompass the whole page. Like
It
if
can be
there's
one-
tons of stuff on the page, you
just
just
pick
find something on the page that inspires you.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
I'm excited. I'm a little nervous with Sarah, but we'll see.
You never know, right?
Oh, glory. None of these were my picks, you guys. Anyway, so I think that's...
So we're doing the Daydream sampler tonight, and again next week, and then the week after, which is the second Monday of July, will be our block of a month. Again,
Right.
we'll get back on schedule for the second week of the month.
I forgot to mention too, the product is going to arrive probably this week. If you've gotten a surprise box in the past and you want another surprise box, they're $99. We only have probably 5 left out of 75. So if you want a surprise box mailed to you, send us a message as soon as possible because those will go quickly. And Christmas stockings. We do have a few Christmas stockings left. There's 12 gifts in it for $125. Once you reserve one, you'll get an invoice for deposit in a few weeks. Hi, Marilyn. And I want to say something to Marilyn, but anyway. So if you want a stocking, and we also have an extra gift. We just ordered
Oh, we did.
the stuff for the extra gift.
It's so stinking nice.
It is cute.
Yeah.
So it's different than last year's
Yeah,
extra
totally
gifts,
different.
and we think you're really gonna like the extra gifts this year. So if
Yeah.
you've reserved a stocking, we only have 150 of the extra gifts. That's all that's available. So if you want the extra gift with your stocking, make sure you message and tell us right away.
And you don't have an exact cost on that yet, but it's in the ballpark of?
50-60.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you want to say to Marilyn?
Marilyn, your sampler quill is drop dead
Oh,
gorgeous.
and Marilyn, I love that you put the lighter fabrics in your rail,
Yes.
what's that called? Rail fence.
Yes.
Blocks. That's exactly what I think it needed.
So I just recently approved Marilyn's post, and oh, there's Sarah. Glory. Sarah. Every time I look at Sarah now, all I see is a magazine. Anyway, Marilyn, your block is gorgeous. I just posted it to the project page, so if you haven't seen it, check out Marilyn's colors. They're drop dead gorgeous.
So, of course, Deb didn't think we needed to redo the block, but after we get all the blocks done and I have fabric left over, we're probably going to be redoing that. Whether Deb thinks we need to or not.
Because, well, maybe I do because I saw Marilyn.
I'm telling you, it like makes all the difference. It's way too, way too dark the
Yes.
other way.
So one more thing we have to show you, Twyla just worked on. This is called Preppy the Whale, and she just finished.
Number 2.
Number 2. Isn't that cute? So we had Preppy the Whale hanging in our shop, made with a specific fabric line. It sold out so quick, and then everybody saw it up there and wanted more, so we had to make a new one.
So it's similar,
it's very similar,
but different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this one better. Listen to Sarah. Have I ever mentioned just how much I love you? Goes by the way. Don't suck up now, Sarah. Okay.
Okay, so was that it, do you think?
I'm not sure I can show. Never mind. I'm gonna say I'm not sure we can show Sarah Lynn's magazine. But anyway, is that enough of a teaser for you? It's gonna be pretty funny. Okay,
So-
that is it. We're gonna start. I'm gonna let Twyla take over.
Well, I'm not taking over. We're going to show, so we'll show our blocks from the 4 that we've done already. So we're doing, what do you call it? Like a country, primitive, Kansas trouble type theme.
There's, now
That's
the
called
ugly one.
Yes.
Thanks,
And I
Marilyn.
said as soon as I did it, I thought that even though it didn't call for backgrounds, that it needed something lighter. So definitely going to be on the redo list. I think.
Marilyn is making hers at her stash. You have an awesome stash, Marilyn.
She does have an awesome stash.
Because all her colors coordinate. Every project she makes, it looks so cool. So
But she's very particular when she buys her stash too, that
Oh, I
things
know.
have to match, and like you can tell that that's something she enjoys and really likes.
Yeah.
And this is the last one. So now we've got 2 blocks for tonight.
Just so you know, we have the front blocked off so nobody can see us, and the sign taken off saying call. So we won't get interrupted
Okay,
today.
so-
I apologize for last week. Okay.
So this week we have, the first block we have is, let me get my book.
Did you look out?
Get my book. Get my book. I'm gonna look in the book. We are doing, I'm gonna hold this.
And that is a cute block.
Isn't that cute?
The colors that we have are really
Yeah.
cute.
So, as you can see, again, it's a quadrant block, right? So there's 4 quadrants, and these 2 opposite are done the same, and these 2 opposite are done the same. But if you're working out of your stash, you would not have to do them the same.
No,
You could do all 4 corners differently, you could do whatever you wanted, right?
So if you've got some of your blocks made, we'd love to see them posted like Marilyn did, because we love to see what you're all working on.
So, we are starting.
No, they
Woo!
did not, Lynn, but I didn't get to the post office today either.
So I've got half of it done, so that Deb only has to do half. So
Look at
there's
that.
the colors for
Isn't that
ours. And actually, I've got 3/4 done. She's just got to sew this one, right?
She's easy
So-
on me.
So we're gonna work on the other, so it's the other orange one that we're working on, right?
Okay.
So the first thing we have to do, according to the pattern, and remember guys, we can't give measurements because this is a purchased pattern. The first thing we have to do to make this block is you need, for the quadrant that we're working on, we need 5 of these half square triangles. So because I've done the blocks and you do the 2 of a kind method, we have 1 left over. So Deb is going to take our colors here and they're drawn with the line and she's going to sew.
And you see what I forgot? I don't have the bucket for it to sit on. Oh, that's all right there.
A bucket.
I had that blue bucket last week.
Oh,
for
a
it to sit
bucket.
on.
What blue bucket?
You want me to sew on these 2 lines, right?
Well, that's what I'd like for you to do, yes. Doesn't mean she's gonna do it, guys, but that's what I'd like for her to do.
I do whatever I'm told.
And after we get those done, it does tell you to trim each unit to a certain size. I can't tell you the size. I will tell you that there was very little to trim. Did you bring the rotary cutter?
No, I got scissors.
To trim. Ooh, I'm gonna run over while you sew. Can you still
Yeah.
talk?
I don't know, I'm not good at talking. So, for those of you that realize that our retreat sold out, we are waiting back from the Pines because it looks like we're going to be able to add a room to our retreat, and I have already hired obtained another instructor for that other room. So it looks like it's good news for everybody, hoping, fingers crossed, that we're going to be able to put everybody that's on the waiting list in. That's our intent anyway.
I'm back.
What the heck? You must have shake your booby.
My boobies? They don't
They
shake
do
a
shake.
whole lot, not much.
Oh no, because you're so tiny. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna square those up, and like I said, there is a little bit there to trim, but there's not tons, and I can't tell you the size on mine.
Yep.
But, oh, what do you do? How about, it won't go that way.
This is my favorite color too, Jennifer. So for those of you that don't realize how we square them up, which most of you probably do, this is our tool that we use.
Comes in a pack of 2.
So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my stitch line on my dotted line and trim everything that hangs out beyond.
So the good part about this particular ruler, which is called the Clearly Perfect Slotted Trimmer, is that you don't have to press them open to start with, so you only make 2 cuts at the most, instead of having to cut all 4 sides, and then you press it open after. So I can maybe, I'm just gonna, I don't want to show the numbers, but where are you?
Keep down. I'm just laying
Are
my
we there
dotted
yet?
line. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm trimming it off.
Yeah.
And I should have gotten a sharper blade.
Well, okay, so that's what she's doing. But I do want to tell you guys that when we do the next one, it's going to be a bigger size. And we're going to show you that you can use, well, we were going to show you. And I'm finding that, oh, it's over here.
Yeah. So you guys know, maybe most of you do, but I have a new employee. I'm quite excited. She's going to arrive on Wednesday, and she's going to help do some teaching, and she's going to be using my long arm. She's actually a Gamel. She worked for Gamel. I actually took a course from her about 5 or 6 years ago, and so she's coming to work for us. So we're really excited about that.
So we're going to press those open, and then, how about I move this out of your way? So that you're not working around that. So the next part, after she presses that open, so we've just made the 5, well, she made 4 of these because I had 1 made. This center part here is another half square triangle, right there. So ignore this part here and this part here. We're just focusing here on another half square triangle, which I already sewed because it was made exactly the same way that Deb just did those. But now I want to show you that if you don't have a clearly, I'm lazy. So when I'm squaring up something to trim a half square triangle, I don't want to press it open.
Just a sec, I'm going to go over here.
Okay. Ooh. I don't like to press it open and then have to trim all 4 sides. So if you don't happen to have the clearly perfect slotted trimmers, but you do happen to have the appropriate size ruler, as long as it has your diagonal line across the center from corner to corner, that is what you can place on your stitch line.
I've never done that. You put it on a stitch line.
Yes. Yep. Right?
Yeah. You're asking me, right? You're teaching me something and you're asking
And
me.
then you just trim your two sides. So again, you're only trimming two sides, the same as with the clearly perfect. So if you don't have that, you can do it, and you could do it with a bigger ruler if it had the diagonal line too, I think. You would just have to go over as far, but I didn't bring one to show you. Anyway, that's done, and now it can be pressed.
So that ruler is the specific size
Is the
of that
specific
book.
size. So the downfall of this method is you need like
All the rulers.
all the rulers. That's why I love this one, right? Because you only need 2 rulers to do, what is it, 12 or 8 different sizes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12.
Yes.
12
So do you want to
different
fold
sizes.
that up again and show them how you use the diagonal? Just
So we just used the diagonal
from corner to corner.
that goes corner to corner, and I put that diagonal line on the stitch line.
Just a second, Wally's asking something. No. We checked the door, didn't we?
Which one?
Front door. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
So lay it down there and show them how to do it.
So I just put that diagonal line on the stitch line, not on the edge of your fabric, on your stitch line,
Yeah.
and then trimmed the 2 sides. The same deal is what Deb did with that. So you can do it with just a normal ruler.
Cool.
Okay?
All right. Lynn just started her 3rd Starlight block today.
Starlight, I gotta stop and think.
That's
Oh,
our block of
yes,
the month.
yes, okay, yeah. I'm terrible with names of
I
patterns.
know.
Okay, so there. So that is, whoops, okay, here we go again, musical chairs. So we've got that done. We've got these ones. Now we've got this. Now this one here is, we're going to take, it tells you in the pattern to take one piece, and it tells you the measurements, and you're going to cut it diagonally from corner to corner to get 2 triangles out of that. Deborah?
I can do that, boss.
And then we're going to take these 2 rectangles, and I'm going to try to show you this picture. Maybe not, because it's going to show you stuff. So let me do it this way. So you need 2. You're going to attach one this way. Can you hold up the next one?
Yep.
So you need one going each way. Do you see that?
So
So-
this one's going that way.
You need your slash on my side. No.
And your side, like that.
Yes. So, how do you know? Because this sticks out further, right? You're going to want a straight line down this side. So you're going to line up that edge when you flip it up to sew. And this end is going to stick over. So let me show you that. When you line up that edge, you see how that little point is sticking over? And when you stitch your seam should come right out. Your 1/4 inch seam should come right out where that little intersection is, right there. So, again, we've got it like this. You want this edge to be straight, so you're going to flip this down. And so now Deb has done one. So you see her little piece hanging over, and her seam came right out there. So now we need 2 of these that look different. We need this one. Hold that up a bit.
Yep.
We need this one going this way, and then we need this one going this way. So she's going to do the same thing on that one. Because we have 2 different sides to our block, this side and this side. Okay. So she is now, we're going to take all of our pieces. Now, of course, I trim these little dog ears. Deb doesn't. Oh, well, I might trim them with these scissors. I could probably chew it off faster. Okay, so we're gonna lay this out, Deborah.
Deborah.
You start laying out your things, because your first thing you gotta do this part first.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
And I'm gonna show them what we're doing. Here, I'm cutting these. Oh, why didn't you lay it out to show them? Whoa, whoa, get back here. So, where's my block? Right here.
Yes,
Oh,
boss.
right here. So see, we need 5 of these. She's going to sew 3 of them together across the top, and then and make a strip of 3. Then she's going to sew 2 together there.
I can't see because you got it up reversed for me.
You got to put it like
That.
yeah. There we go. So, oops. So let's hold this up so they see. So you've got to be very careful in your placement of these, that you have these all going the correct way. Don't have one of them going wonky, right? So we're going to do a row of 3 and a row of 2
Okay.
before we join it to this one.
I can do that.
Okay.
You want a row of 3 and
A row of 2, yeah. So the row of 3 goes across the top and a row of 2 goes down the side. Yep, perfect. So once she gets that together, then we're going to lay out her other pieces. So hold that up. There we go. So now, this is going to go in here. So that's what she's going to join
You do it.
next. So she's going to join the square to the 2 pieces first. This square to these 2 pieces. And now she's going to sew the 3 across the top. 10, now I've lost the other, there it is, got it. I didn't lose anything. So far today I've lost my clearly perfect. I was sure it was here, but it wasn't over here, so that didn't pan out.
You were sure you could blame me for something.
Well, no, I just thought maybe because sometimes it's my stuff I bring, right? Instead of trying to find stuff here. And I just thought, oh, well, maybe we had it here last week and I left it here, but no, I didn't.
Here we go.
So that means I gotta clean my sewing room. So the next thing we're gonna do, so look at our block here. So here we've got this part. Then we're gonna put that leg there, and we're gonna put that leg there. And again, you're going to have a piece that's hanging too far. So you want this to line up across here,
And let the
and
overhang.
let that hang. And then once you do that, you're gonna make this line up. You're not even in the picture. There we go. This line up and let it overhang here.
Okay.
Okay? So, and then we have one little piece to sew at the bottom. This little piece down here afterwards. And the good news is, when you get these together right here, you've got a couple seams here. If that point isn't 100% perfect, you're not even going to notice it because it's all the same dark fabric there and it really camouflages it nicely.
Well, I'm sure Lynn's meets up perfect.
Just remember that you do have a little bit of bias that you're working with there when we get to adding this. So, okay, so now we're going to add this down here. I like to fold this in half, make a little crease, and line that up with where the point, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this on this dark fabric. Can you see where that point is right there where the
Where it
pieces came
crisscrosses.
together? Yep. And if you line that up with that crease that's halfway, you'll have enough to go both ways with a little bit hanging over. So again, you want your seam straight, and that piece is biased, so it's going to stretch a bit. So if you're worried about that, pin it in the middle and pin each end before you stitch across, if you're concerned.
Ta-da!
So there there's that one. So we now have all our pieces. We're going to put our quadrants together.
So this is going to be like this.
Yep. And then the orange one's going to go down here. So Deb's got to sew these two together first before we sew
Those two
Yep.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I gotta watch for here? Meeting? Oh yes, there is.
Yep, there is. Now, that would be a place that if you really wanted to put a pin there, you have 2 points coming together, and I'll show you mine isn't exact, but it's good enough for me. See those 2 points right there?
Oh, you probably make me take that out.
I don't make you do anything, it's your quilt. You do whatever you want.
Let me see.
I'll let me take that out. But she can do whatever, it's her quilt.
I didn't bring the seam ripper, darn it.
I'm gonna seam ripper.
Oh crap.
Ta-da!
All right, Mom.
And you probably don't have a straight pin. This is the only woman I know that can sew and not ever have a straight pin.
Yeah, but look what I did. So
What
a
did
straight.
you do?
Well, I got it crooked. So if I had a straight pin,
What?
I gotta retake it apart. If I had had a straight pin, maybe I wouldn't have had to.
Well, that's what I mean, but you probably don't have one over here. do
No,
you?
but there's one over on the long arm.
Yeah, but is it a great big thumping 14 gauge?
Remember, big is better.
I'm not convinced that in this case it is.
Okay.
So, I would poke a pin in those points.
Right at that point.
So, hold that up so they can see.
Oh,
So, she's going to go poke a pin right through
that point.
that black point, and then she's going to bring the next point over
And put it right
and
through
poke
this.
it right through there.
And resew it.
And resew it. And then when we sew the next two together, there's 2 of those suckers to do.
Oh, not correct.
This is called the basket block. Imaginative, isn't it? It's about as good as something I would name it. I have no imagination for stuff like that.
What do you want? Some people's names are really quite creative.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking about me behind my back.
I really wasn't.
Oh,
You
really?
said that you were coming. Suppose it's any better? You guys want it better?
Oh,
Suppose it's better?
it's right on.
Okay, so now she's gonna sew these together. Down
Ta-da!
there. Flip.
Down. So then you
And she's got 2 sets of points this time. Do you need another pin or you're gonna use the same?
I'll
I
use the
suppose
same
you
one.
lost that. That's
Oh,
right.
it's right here.
It's right there. So that's going to be chapter 5, or block 5 that we just did. And now we're moving on to
Oh, you know what somebody suggested, and I just remembered.
what?
Somebody asked at the beginning of our video if we would announce the date, today's date.
Oh,
They wanted to know.
I would have to look that up. It's June the 30th. I'm joking. Tomorrow's July 1st.
Yes.
So it's June the 30th. Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
Somebody wanted for us
Yeah.
to say, hey, welcome to our so-long, and the date,
Okay.
so that they could make reference to it. How are we going to remember that? But it is a good idea.
It is a good idea. Yes, it is. It is. And I do have to think, and I can't think who it was. I went home and totally forgot to upload this video last week.
Did you really?
I did.
You did that
Onto
last time.
YouTube. I forgot to put it on YouTube, right? And somebody messaged and said, when is it going to be on YouTube? Well, I did it right then, but I was like, oh man, I totally forgot that. See, we're not used to having to transfer everything from Facebook over to YouTube yet. It hasn't become second nature
So is there
yet.
anybody out there that hasn't gone to our YouTube channel?
So,
If you haven't, please
yes,
do.
Gloria, this is the Daydream sampler quilt that we're working on. It has 12 blocks.
And we do have a few left.
This doesn't
in stock.
completely show all of the blocks, but you get a feel for it, and it's got some lattice in between the blocks. It's really quite pretty. We chose to do, we aren't doing this colorway at all. We're doing primitive country, like a Kansas treble tip. Oh, here's the block. The picture of the sampler with the 12 blocks. They're nice big blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of options for colorways, so.
So, the next block that we're gonna do is this one. We're doing 2 blocks a week. So this one is called Square and Star.
That's a creative one.
It is. Right up there with my name. So I've got half of that block done to show you. So this is the, whoops, I should have had the picture open to show you. So again, it's another one done in quadrants, which I actually enjoy blocks that are done in quadrants. So I've done the top row, and Deb's going to do the bottom part. So I've got the top half done. And so we're doing scrappy backgrounds, which you can tell because the backgrounds on that are different than the background on this one.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Okay, so Deb has that one done. So, there it is. Okay, so this is what we're working on now. So our first step is, I have to stop and think. We're going to take E and F, and we're going to draw our double lines. So I used this handy gadget. You go corner to corner with that, and you draw on either side of that, and that gives you your 2 stitch lines. These come, this is by Creative Grids. I forget what it's called,
I do too.
but it comes in 2 sizes. This is the shorter size, and there's one that's longer. So, Deb's gonna sew those. We're going, let me just stop and think. Yep, yep.
Don't make
So,
me make a mistake.
that part is, we're making 2 of these by doing those 2 seams that will give us our 2 half square triangles for the center. And we're going to double check when she gets those sewn that there's probably going to be a little tiny bit to trim down, the same as there was in the other one. So she's going to do that because we're trimming down to, yeah. So now she's cutting that apart, right down the middle between the 2 stitch lines to get her two pieces. And she's not going to press it open. She's going to trim it down.
2.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna use this, I think.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm
you're
used to.
doing,
Yep.
I can't tell you guys the size. So there's a little bit to trim. It's not like a surplus, but enough to make your,
It's worth trimming.
it's worth trimming, and it will really help your block go together better. I can't even talk. Go together better. Did you guys have a nice day today? It was beautiful here once it cleared off this morning.
It was foggy this morning. Couldn't even see the boats.
Oh, we didn't have fog. We just
Really?
Yes. Well, no. See, we don't get a lot of fog. There. So that's going to be our 2 center darker half square triangles. So now we're going to work on these hourglass figures. So this is called an hourglass figure, and those are made by starting with half square triangles. So we are going to do the same technique she just did. So I used this handy dandy thing, drew the 2 lines with her green, so she's going to do 2.
Shirley says they're called seam guide rulers.
Right. And this is probably the one, I don't have the long one, but there are times I wish I did for bigger squares. This isn't quite long enough. But I don't typically do really big blocks, so it's rare that this isn't long enough for me.
Cutting these apart.
Zipping right along.
Cutting these apart.
Yep, but you're not going to square that. I wouldn't square this
Right.
section down. We're going to press these open, and we're going to save the squaring down because in order to do this, we now have to do the same step again, but we're going to sort of offset these 2, and Deb will show you what we mean, and we're going to draw the lines after. So, she's going to take those
This.
2 pieces.
And put them green on the white and the white on the green.
And you can nest those seams right together because you've pressed to the dark on both of them, and that will give you your two seams going in opposite directions.
So you're gonna get a V right there. Perfect V.
So now, before she stitches,
I'm gonna draw a line.
she's gonna draw a line.
Got a pencil right
I
there?
don't know. I don't. You've got a pen right here. Let's get this working. Okay, on my hand. Okay, there we go. So, you're gonna draw your two lines, and we'll show you that in just a minute once she gets it done. So don't square up before you do this step this time on the half square triangles. Save your squaring up, so she's drawing her two lines, and they're going across the seam. So the seams went this way when she nested the two seams together. She nested her two seams together, the dark on opposite sides. And then when you draw your lines, you're going perpendicular to your seam line, drawing your two lines. So that when you cut them apart, you're gonna end up with your hourglass after you stitch them. And that's when,
Cut them apart.
yep, so now she's gonna cut them apart, and then we're gonna square them up now. Although she might, did you wanna give that a little press first? No, apparently not. So I had done,
Okay, I have a question. So this line has to go. You're gonna measure, put your seam along the dotted line, but you're also gonna follow this line right up your seam.
because if you don't, you could have a really wonky, so just give me this for a minute. So if you were to take this and say we were squaring it up here to right here, up here. And if you weren't careful to take your ruler and go to that seam, if it was off a bit, you would not have a nice point when you finally sew things together. It's gonna look really bad. So you're going to use your line, your seam line going this way, and your
The
seam
center.
on that, on the center seam. So that you've got that perpendicular angle there. I'd like to show them you doing that.
I can't though, can I? 'Cause I go
Well, I
full
think
size.
if I'm at a
Oh, you're gonna go away.
distance, yeah. So you just gotta tell me, am I somewhat aimed at you?
No, you're looking at my boobs.
Oh,
Down
well,
farther.
okay.
That's much better.
Sorry, folks.
There's a line going right down the seam.
Sorry, folks.
Okay, that's how you do it.
Okay, so she's gonna square up the other one. Yeah, we definitely need your bucket back. One of these days, we're gonna get organized, maybe.
Well, we don't want to give it all to them at once, because then they can do improve.
They're thinking, oh, give us a little at least, right? That's what they're thinking. So, I had two done. So she's gonna have the other two, because we need four, right? We've got this one, this one, this one, and this one.
And
And then you also have two of these corner squares. So let's lay these out, and then I'll hold the board up once we get all our pieces laid out here. I don't think,
the lady that's doing the demo at the trunk show has another way to make these, I think.
so
Interesting to
this
see
is
what
gonna
she
go
does.
there. I wish you guys could see how dull these scissors are.
They're my box opening scissors.
I gotta stop and think here. I think it goes like so, and like so. Where's your other two? There we are. And these two go like so and so. And here's our two corner squares. Like block. So, these two on each side, the green parts are touching. So make sure you don't have like your two on the side like that, because that doesn't give you the design, right? You want your two green sides touching, just like that.
Okay. I can
Okay.
do that.
So she's going to probably do this. Are you going to do that in quadrants or rows across?
I'm gonna do it in rows.
Okay, so she's going to sew it across in a row, each row.
What did you do?
I think I did rows.
Did you?
I do believe. I think. I can't remember. That was a few days ago. So I can't remember. So next week, So this makes us halfway through our blocks.
That's
Because this
good.
is block 6, right? There's only 12 blocks and then the lattice. So let's see what our next week, that's a cat's, isn't that considered a cat's cradle? That block right there? I think that's what that's called. So this is one of our blocks for next week. And I think this little piece here is called a cat's cradle, if I remember correctly. And, Fox and the Geese is what this one's called. I like that one too. So most of these blocks are made up of very simple, basic quilting blocks, like that you've probably done. And then they're just placed in different, like look at this. This is just pinwheel and flying geese in half square triangles, or quilting corners, whatever you want to call them. So I really like, I'm jumping ahead to next week, but I really like when you do this type of a block, instead of making this a half square triangle to start with, I like to put my full piece there, and after the block is all done, then add a quilting corner. I just find it's one less seam that you're dealing with when you're sewing pieces together. Like I really like that method. So, I don't know what Deb does, but that's what I like to do. 9 times out of 10, she does something opposite of what I do, because that's the way we roll.
Everything.
That's the way we roll.
I thought that drove you crazy, Dallas.
No. It's funny though, because it really is like, you can almost 100% guarantee that given 2 choices, her and I go for opposite every time. Every time. So we finished our basket block tonight. And Deb will soon have, whipping right along there. She's got the hat, look. She's got this done already, so now she's going to join it to the up half. Just like that. She is quick.
Wow.
Old Speedy. I think this is, I definitely am going to have to redo that block. I'd like to redo it, but I don't care to redo it until we see what we've got left for fabrics, and I'll see what I can slide in there.
We can blame that all on Marilyn, because I was satisfied before I saw her block.
So, like, what I'd like to know is how come when I told you it would look better with the lighter fabric, you
But I
like
couldn't-
scoffed at it, but when Marilyn like shows you, then all of a sudden
I'm a
it's,
visual.
yeah. Oh, Shirley has the bigger one, and she wished she had the smaller one.
Oh, but you guys could trade.
I don't wish I had the bigger one all the time because I think it's like too long and free. I like this one. Oh, there, she's got that one together. That's a pretty block. That's my favorite background, the one on this one.
No. You got to be
See,
kidding.
look, guys. Let's see.
And
what
I'm
you
not
guys
just
think.
saying that.
No, I'm not just saying that. I love that background.
Really? This is my least favorite.
See, so we have, this block has 2 backgrounds, this one and this
This is
one.
my favorite background.
And what else do we have? I think there's another one somewhere.
This is our block.
Uh, Maybe there isn't. I was sure that
Isn't
there was
that nice?
another. Yes, there's this one there's this background.
Yeah.
But then there's this one,
And you
and
could
this
have
is
done-
my favorite because it's got the pops of color. Isn't that pretty?
Oh,
What do you guys
yeah.
think?
No. But, you know, it could have been all done in the same background.
It could be. It
Yeah.
certainly could be. Yeah. Oh, Audrey did hers with lighter colors too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Cool.
What's the price of the book? That's a very good
$18.
question. $18.
That's really not that bad.
So this book, besides having that, it has some other quilt options in there. Like,
just the one
this
we
is the
discussed.
sampler one, but it does have, like, there's this one. That's kind of cute. So you get more bang for your buck. It isn't just the sampler quilt. There's a pillow
in there. Yeah.
There's,
Oh.
oh, that's the sampler done in blues.
Yeah.
See that?
Okay, so that is it for tonight, everybody. We are finished. We are going to gather up our Christmas stuff because we're going to start wrapping Christmas stocking stuff.
Yeah, I'm starting to drag stuff home to wrap.
Anyway, that's it for tonight. It is a very good price. It is.
It is for a book. That's it. And like when you stop and think that most patterns
Patterns
nowadays
are
are $17
$17
for one pattern, right?
Yeah.
to get a book for
And
that price.
how come
It's
they
pretty
charge
good.
17 for a pattern and then they bind or make that like a book and it's the same price?
Oh, I was also going to mention this.
You use that?
Well, I
To
did
flatten the seams out.
on some of these that have like a lot of seams coming together in one place. If you're having trouble, your Acorn Precision treatment
It's wonderful.
is wonderful. And this, you can get it in a squirt bottle, but you can refill these pens. The top screws off and you put your liquid in. And, oops, look at this.
You've been using it a lot.
I do use mine quite a bit. So that's like a felt tip marker end almost, and those can be replaced. And when you press down, the liquid comes out. And if you put that right in those joints where there's tons of seams and then give it a press, man, lots of
It
pancake.
is called Daydream Sampler. And happy Canada Day to you all. Shirley had dessert. That's just not fair.
She had what?
Dessert while we were talking.
I had a good dessert last
Okay, yeah, it is amazing, isn't it, Wendy? Okay, that's it for tonight, everybody.
night. Okay, guys, have
Thank
a
you.
great week, and let's see some of your blocks.
I know, post them. Even if it's one block, we just want to see your colors.
Yeah, like anybody that's doing it out of their stash, like, man, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night.